Canada? For many years, it was known as the US's most reliable source of energy, its largest trading partner and perhaps the invisible supporter of North America. But now the picture is changing fast. Donald Trump's new tariffs have turned Canada-US relations upside down. In response, Canada did not sit idly by and responded with an unexpected move. If necessary, we will cut off the electricity and turn off the lights. No one in North America is used to such a harsh energy restraint.
The head of the Canadian province of Ontario is, listen to this, threatening to cut off electricity exports to the United States.
On the critical minerals and electricity we supply to the United States.
1 month ago, Donald Trump paused the 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico.
What we told him from the beginning, which is that these tariffs hurt Americans. They hurt American companies.
Is this move pushing two close allies to the brink of a trade war? Is Canada determined to retaliate against Trump's tariff pressure by cutting the flow of electricity to the US? These two giants, long known as friends, are now threatening each other. If Canada does indeed pull the plug, neighboring states could be left in the dark. Here we explore the behind-the-scenes and possible consequences of this stunning development. We'll even cut off the flow of electricity to the US. We'll turn off the lights. The latest statements coming from the heart of Canada are one of the most shocking moves in a new trade war in North America. The two neighbors, who until yesterday were perceived as allies in all circumstances, shoulder to shoulder on every issue, now do not hesitate to take each other to the limit. The 25% tariffs Donald Trump imposed on Mexico and Canada during his presidency had already upset the balance in many sectors, from steel to aluminum. Then, from the Canadian side, there was a cry of, "No more tolerance for the last straw." For the last 2 weeks, the headlines in the Canadian press and even in American media outlets have been dominated by stories like, "Could Canada stop exporting electricity?" To some, this is just a threat.
Hey, quick heads up. If you're managing multiple accounts or working in affiliate marketing, you know the struggle. But we found a tool that can save you a ton of headaches. And trust me, it's a game changer. It's called GoLogin, the best browser for managing multiple accounts. Problem 1, account bans. Out of nowhere, your account gets banned. Sound familiar? Whether it's social media or an affiliate platform, that means frozen funds, wasted time, and starting over from scratch. But with GoLogin, your accounts stay protected, saving you time, money, and stress. Problem 2, managing multiple accounts. Switching between accounts all day? Nightmare.gologin makes it effortless. You can handle everything from one place, without the hassle. Problem 3, avoiding detection. Ever been flagged or restricted for suspicious activity? GoLogin keeps you under the radar, so you can work without worrying about unwanted attention. And the best part? It's super easy to use. Sparkle's exclusive for our listeners. Get 40% off with the link in the description below. Rock it.
Others say they could go so far as to pull the plug suddenly one night. Let's take a look at the details of this striking development. At a press conference in Ontario on Sunday, March 2nd, 2025, Ontario Premier Doug Ford shook the agenda with the following words. "If the Trump administration insists on these unfair tariffs, we will use our Trump card. The option to cut off Canadian electricity exports is on the table. I'll do it with a smile on my face if necessary." When Ford made this statement in front of the cameras, he gave a date and added, "As of March 2nd, I want to say, we will play the game by the rules and no one should test our patience." This sentence had a big repercussion, because Canada's electricity sales to the United States are not just a small number. According to Natural Resources Canada, the country is estimated to have exported around 65 terawatt-hours of electricity in 2024. About 90% of this goes to the United States. So, when the Ottawa administration turns off this tap, turning off the lights is not an exaggeration. In the evening of the same day, a statement from a source close to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was also noteworthy. The Prime Minister has been considering different scenarios in response to the Trump administration's unfair tariffs. Electricity is just one of them. The American side should not underestimate Canada. The remarks were a reminder of Canada's share in the flow of electricity to the US, especially to the northern regions and some states. States like New York and Vermont, for example, rely heavily on hydroelectric power from Canada. Official data shows that by 2023, US electricity imports from Canada amounted to about $2.3 billion in trade. Low-cost, clean hydropower is helping many families in the region pay their electricity bills. If Canada were to cut off this supply now, consumers' bills could soar, and some areas could even face electricity supply shortages. On the Trump side, there was a different kind of activity on March 3, 2025. A White House spokesperson told reporters at noon, "Canada is our close ally and friend. The tariffs were imposed purely for national security and fair trade reasons. We are closely monitoring threats of retaliation, but the United States will not back down." Trump, who will address Congress on March 4, 2025 on the official calendar, will continue to defend the trade war, the spokesperson said. On the same day, a news article titled "Trump Prepares to Address Congress the Day After Criticizing Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau for Retaliatory Tariffs" was published. The article claimed that senior White House advisors had warned Trump not to escalate tensions with Canada, or power shortages would soon hit the Midwestern states. However, Trump ignored these warnings, insisting that tariffs are our most effective weapon to protect U.S. interests. The president also announced that reciprocal tariffs would begin on April 2nd, covering imports from all countries that impose import duties on U.S. goods. But can Canada really pull off this reckless restraint? No matter how fervently Ontario Premier Doug Ford or politicians in Ottawa talk, a blackout is not an immediate measure, energy analysts say. Canada's electricity transmission lines and the US grid are very integrated. There is a vast infrastructure built over years of cooperation. You can't just pull the plug. But methods such as intermittent or limited supply, reducing dam capacities, are certainly possible. Patterson also referred to the 2023 data and said, "The economic value of the electricity Canada sells to the US is about $2.3–2.5 billion.